Yo. What is going on, guys? So, I want to go over something that's going to be really interesting. As the days go on, day by day, we look at rumors, news, speculation, third-party stuff. You always look at all this information to think of what the Eagles are going to do in this draft. The pick at 10, the pick at 30. There has been some news that I think is really important, and there's some rumors going around that the Eagles could totally go a different route in the first round. Okay, this has a lot to do with a position that you do not think the Eagles would actually draft. First round, because they have never done it before. Okay, I wanted to get into all that news because I'm going to go on a little rant because I think it's really important. And obviously, this is just an opinionated video. This isn't like, oh, this is what there's stuff out there from good sources that are interesting. I kind of want to show you a little bit. And this specifically goes into the safety position, which is very interesting. So let's get into all that news. I might go on a little rant, so just work with me here. I think this is a lot of fun to even talk about because the draft is fun. The speculation, the rumors, that's why it's exciting because that's the whole reason of the draft because you never know what's going to happen. And with Howie Roseman, almost anything could happen. So let's get straight into all that news. Let's go for it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope it's on a fantastic day. So, first, pretty much the whole reason of this video today, because I really thought about a lot of different things, okay? Now, we talked about Budda Baker the other day, okay? Remember the Budda Baker stuff that was going around the past few days on, the Eagles trying to acquire him or, would he come to the Eagles? Then we looked at his contract, and obviously it didn't really favor us too much because he's got 2 more years left on his deal, okay? He's a $16.8 million cap hit this year. He's an $18 million cap hit in 24. He's getting paid $14 million these next 2 years, this year and next year. It's too much of a hefty contract. And obviously with a post-June trade, they'll get $14 million in cap space if they could pull it off. And obviously if they cut him, I think they save about $9 million and then only like maybe $7 million dead cap. So nothing crazy. But obviously a nice little chunk of money if they don't care about the dead cap too much. It's not really going to affect them. That $7 million in dead cap is not crazy. It's not a lot, but I think they can eat that up easily. So going over safety, okay, Terrell Edmunds, okay, they got Reed Blankenship here. Nice sample size we got from him last year, but with another offseason now, okay, they got Kevon Wallace back there. They signed Justin Evans, a nice vet for that, for some competition at safety and nickel because he could play both positions. But he's been hurt every year, okay? Justin Evans I don't think he's even had one healthy career year, really. So that's interesting to look at going forward. Now, Jay Fowler from ESPN had some stuff to say, which kind of caught my eye a little bit, okay? Really did catch my eye. And this is the news that came out. It says the Eagles are viewed as a potential destination for Budda Baker per Jay Fowler. It says people I've talked to around the league are at least looking to Philadelphia because they have a need at safety with C.J. Gardner-Johnson leaving in free agency. So are the Eagles not done at safety? Was Terrell Edmunds not enough? Was getting Justin Evans not enough? Hitting that position 2 times and maybe they're not satisfied with the safety position still. Could they actually change their designation in this draft, at least at pick 30, and you actually go get Brian Branch? Like, could this actually happen? I don't think the Eagles have ever drafted a safety in the first round. I'm trying to remember as long as I've been alive, and I don't even think they've done it recently. I don't think they've ever drafted a safety in the first round, which would be the first ever if it happened this year. I really thought about this because what are the trends for the Philadelphia Eagles this draft? What are the rumors? Van Ness at 10, Nolan Smith at 10, Skoronski at 10. I mean, Jalen Carter. The Eagles are not drafting Bijan Robinson. These are the trends that I've been kind of following. I've been seeing a repeat. I've seen nothing on safeties. I've seen nothing on drafting a safety. Even just the interest and its own in the first round, I've never even seen it. Eagles haven't brought in, I don't think the Eagles have even brought in a first-round pick. I don't even think they brought in a safety pre-draft-wise, unless I'm wrong. I could be losing track of it, but I don't think so. Okay, and that doesn't really matter because there's a lot of smoke when it comes to pre-draft visits as well to make other teams think that you're interested in that player when you're really not, but you bring him in anyway, so I totally get it. But are the Eagles comfortable with the safety position right now? Now, Terrell Edmunds, I think he's going to work out really well. Was supposed to sign a multi-year extension with the Steelers. He actually left. He actually backed out of it. Eagles called, and he came to Philadelphia. I think for the number one reason was because they're coming off a Super Bowl. Number two, because of Jalen Hurts on the offense. That's going to get points on the board. And number three, because you have two outside cornerbacks that are capable, obviously, if used correctly by our new defensive coordinator, Sean Desai, that still we haven't got a press conference from. I mean, Jesus Christ, how much longer is this going to happen of not hearing from this guy? Okay? So, I'm not saying I want this, but this could be, and to be honest with you, like, would it shock me? Definitely. If the Eagles can't trade for Budda Baker, okay, could this actually show that they really could have interest in a top safety like Brian Branch? If they're not able to acquire Budda Baker, if Budda Baker is supposedly supposed to get traded, he's not going to get cut. Most likely trade because he'll get more cap post-June. So obviously we would have to wait after the draft to get this done. But if the Eagles say, you know what? If we can't get Budda Baker or can't get something that's promised that a trade could go down, obviously they can get the trade done now. And then obviously that money will pump after, whatever's left on his contract, whatever money they move around will be pumped after June. So that the signing could be done, but it won't be official till really after June 1st. If there is no trade for Budda Baker, and they can't get something done because of the money or, obviously there was rumors about Budda Baker that came out that said that he doesn't want to be the highest paid safety. He's got 2 more years left on his contract anyway. Really young and obviously, great player. But if they can't get him to Philadelphia because it depends on cap draft compensation. It really depends on all that and how much they want for him. And trust me, he's actually good. So he doesn't have, Like he's actually really good. So they're not going to get him for cheap unless we totally fleece them, which I doubt it. But you never know Howie Roseman at this point. But if they can't get that done, what if they actually went into the first round and got Brian Branch? Moved Terrell Edmunds over, used Reed as the number 3, and Kavon Wallace is pretty much almost kicked out because Kavon Wallace's contract, I think he's got a year or 2 left, not much. Like they're not re-signing Kavon Wallace unless it's just for specialty. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's not much there at safety. I like Terrell Edmunds. I think they got a really underrated player. Terrell Edmunds got 5 picks in 5 years. I think the only problem is, is he a capable ball hawk? Could he get his hands on the football? I think he's going to play a lot better than what people think because if these outside corners play really well, I think this man is really good run support. I think they could move Terrell Edmunds all over the field if they really wanted to. There's a lot of different things they could do with him that I think you can utilize his talents a lot more. People are saying not as much of a great coverage guy. It's really not bad. I think it's actually pretty solid. But he has his moments. But run support, stopgap, hard hitter, contact safety, really good, really aggressive. And having Slay and then having Bradbury back, now with 2 capable outside corners, and if Sean Desai puts those corners in the right position to win football games, and Terrell Edmunds could have a field day this year. Reed Blankenship gave us a nice little sample size last year. Okay, he did really well. I'm glad they gave that kid a shot because he really showed. Okay, I don't think he's a great coverage safety at all. I think he's horrible. And I don't think they should use him for that. They should really use him downhill for run support, and obviously jumping in front of those passes, deflecting or grabbing these picks, whatever the possible thing is. Because I think he's an A-plus tackler. I think when it comes to his tackling, Reed Blankenship is amazing. He never misses tackles, mostly all the time. So it's getting my juices flowing a little bit towards this situation. Hey, you know what I mean? Pause, but you know what I mean. It's getting the juices flowing of, man, could they actually go in a different... Really? Because really, at the end of the day, if they signed Chauncey, they wouldn't have signed Bradbury. That's the realistic part. And obviously, Chauncey didn't want the contract we gave him because it was a backloaded contract. 3.5 this year, 3.5 next year, 17 is last year. You know the Eagles weren't paying him 17 as last year. They would have got out of that somehow. They would have messed with him a little bit. They would have got out of that somehow. So Chauncey took that as disrespect in some way. Didn't like the offer. Didn't like the money situation. It's like, oh, we're going to give you $24 million, but you're not going to get most of it until your last year. Yeah, get both sides to that whole entire aspect of the contract. Even though he's only getting 6.5 on 1 year now, $8 million with incentives. The Eagles missed out on that. We were hoping that plan was going to work. So Terrell Edmunds, there was a plan B with Reed Blankenship and grabbing more depth with Justin Evans as a prove-it type thing. Justin Evans is either going to make it and play really well, or he's a real scrappy player, which I really do like. I don't think he'll ever start, but I think he could be a nice backup nickel. I think he could be a nice number 3, maybe a number 4. I think he can make the roster, but he's going to really have to push hard because he's got he could have some competition in front of him now. Kevon Wallace, is he going to last? They're going to start to test him now and see how he does. So if the Budda Baker situation is at fault and they can't get a trade done, because really, realistically, guys, if you're trading for a good player like that, and trust me, Howie has fleeced a lot of teams. They could fleece Arizona. Obviously, Gannon knows this team and knows Nick and knows Howie. So Gannon, they could have a really good talk. It could be something where it could benefit both teams. But at the same time, I don't think they're giving up like a second-round pick for him. Who knows? Like, if they gave up the 30th, I wouldn't be surprised for Budda Baker if that's what they did. I think fans would be probably pissed at that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the conversation would be. They would obviously need some type of draft pick this year. That's why I think that trade is almost going to be impossible. I'm just trying to, unless you fleece them, I don't know how other way you're really going to get around this contract with his numbers on the table right now, the way they are with 2 years left in a trade, $16 to $18 million cap hits. It's a lot to take on. Unless they extend him more, like make it like a 4-year deal because he's only 24, 20. He's young. Budda Baker's young. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're getting a 27, 28-year-old player with a big cap number, with 2 big cap numbers for the next 2 years. You're getting a younger guy with big cap numbers, but if you want him long-term, go do it. And if him getting the most money, if he doesn't want Jesse Bates' money, then we might have a bigger chance to maybe get something done here with Budda Baker. But if not, I think the Eagles will go down this route. There could be a possibility they go down the route of drafting Brian Branch at 30. I'd be shocked. I'd be literally shocked. I'd fall on the ground, and I wouldn't mind it. I'd be like, if they showed me something that I wasn't expecting in a positive way, sure, I'll take it. If they feel like Brian Branch could be the guy, and obviously Brian Branch is better than Terrell Edmunds. Brian Branch is going to is obviously better than Reed Blankenship and whatever depth we have behind it in Justin Evans and Kevon Wallace. Hopefully they cross-train some of these other cornerbacks, and obviously, we'll see what happens if they cross-train Job or Goodrich or, move somebody to safety. At least add more competition. Let them cross-train and play both. You never know. So this is going to be really interesting. I want to know your take on this situation of Brian Branch if they can't get a Budda Baker thing. The news from Jay Fowler talking about the whole situation. That if teams are talking about the Eagles need a safety badly right now, that it doesn't matter whatever they did. If they even drafted 2 guys at that position, okay, It's the same as the Bijan situation. Well, they hit on running back 2 times. We're done at running back. No, I don't believe they are. I don't believe they're comfortable. You could add as many bodies to safety or running back if you want, but if you're not happy, if you don't think it's enough, you're going to add more bodies, and then you're going to add more for camp. It's not like Terrell Edmonds is expensive. It's not like Justin Evans is expensive at safety. They're not expensive. They're getting nothing. So really, like, they worked out something to where, like, they're not going to be affected if they get cut or they get beat or, they have to cut this roster down in one day from 90 to 53 in August. From 90 to 53 in one day. That's the new rule this year. They got to make all the cuts in one day, which is going to be crazy. It's going to be kind of nuts. It's a lot of stress. Thank God I don't do that crap. Thank God I just cover this team and I have to do all that important stuff, But there's a lot to go over here. It's like I said, it's a lot of salt. It's a lot of rumor. It's a lot of speculation. You got to just, not saying this officially. Look, if Jay Fowler didn't really put that out, it'd be more speculation than anything else. But him putting that out about Budda Baker is interesting, which is showing that the Eagles not only have interest in Budda Baker, but if they can't get him, they could have interest in just getting a top-tier safety this year in the draft. It could be a possibility. Other teams are saying the Eagles need a safety bad. Other teams are saying, the Eagles are not. Who knows? It all comes down to, you had the owner meetings, you had the combine. You don't know what's been going on, especially the owner meetings where the owners are there, the GMs are there, and they're talking about, sometimes things leak from conversations at these little things that they have. Oh, yeah, Howie Roseman's still trying to it's not done at that position. Still, you never know. Howie Roseman has options here. So, like I said, they could grab Budda Baker if they want, take on all that money and not do a damn thing to his contract. But I just don't think it's going to happen because Howie Roseman's thinking about he's thinking about the team before he's thinking about strangling our cap space. You know what I mean? That's the reason we're at a really good standstill now with the foundation of our our cap space and, what we spend on certain positions. It's that crazy, guys. The Philadelphia Eagles don't look at these players. Look at Budda Baker, $16 to $19, $18 million cap hits. The Philadelphia Eagles, go look on their cap. Go look on their roster and how much money. The biggest cap hit we have is 14.7 with Lane Johnson. That's the biggest cap number we have. And that number drops off to $11.5 million for big play Slay. Literally, the Eagles have been very good with this cap. We don't have a player like this that's getting 18 against the cap, 19. You know what I mean? We don't have big numbers like that. So if they actually acquired him, it would, obviously it would take a little bit more. So that's all I really want to say. I want to talk about this because I think it's really important. If around the league teams are saying Howie Roseman's still trying to get that safety, and even after Edmonds and Justin Evans, and he's still not happy and still wants to get the number one guy, trust me, I don't think Justin Evans is making this team. He's like a prove it type guy for camp to see if he would make it and play really well, and obviously to stay healthy. Reed could move to number 3. Edmonds can move over. They could trade for Budda. Or if they can't get it done because they're asking for too much, they draft Brian Branch. Man, what a surprise that would be. I mean, I'd be shocked. I'd fall off my chair and probably not breathe for an hour. I mean, I'd be pretty shocked about it. So that's what I want to say. I know it's been almost 19 minutes to this video, but if you guys have lasted this long, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream as well. The video. Sorry. I stream a lot, so sometimes I get confused on what I'm doing. If I'm actually talking to you, but I'm really not talking to you, but I am talking to you. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about all that information. Do you think there's a possibility with that little bit of news, that little snippet of news, that the Eagles could be really going after a top safety in the first round? Or trying to get Budda Baker? That there's, it doesn't say Eagles are going after Budda Baker, but top destination for Baker is the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, at least one of them. Doesn't mean they're going to get him, but it could tell you that they could have a lot of interest in the safety, that they're not satisfied. Just like they're not satisfied at running back with Rashad Penny for $600,000 for the year for free and only playing 5 games? And can you actually, you really trust this running back group and Rashad Penny staying healthy for 17 games? That's where I'm getting this whole thing out of. You know what I mean? So other than that, guys, I will see you guys on the next one. You guys enjoy your work week, and I'll see you guys later. Shakes, what up, follow, peace out, guys. Peace.